The Xiaomi 13 Lite is the cheapest of the three new Xiaomi smartphones. For a price of around 500 euros over here in Germany, you will get a 50 megapixel main camera that can capture videos in 4K with 30 frames per second. All the video and pictures on this phone, they look just amazing with full HD plus resolution, and the 4500 mAh battery can charge your phone from 0 to 80% in just about 30 minutes thanks to 67 watts fast charging. But enough of that, and let's start and take a look at what we actually get inside of this box. So the first thing that you will see once you open up the box is not the smartphone, so you can get the super cool paper stuff first, plus an extra silicone case. Beneath that you will have your smartphone. I took the light blue version, but you can also get this one in black or in light pink. And as for last, at the bottom of the package you have your USB Type-C cable and the big 67 watt fast charging brick. Now design wise, we are looking at a very flat smartphone. So you do get a 6.55 inch AMOLED display, but if you look at it from the side, you only have 7 millimeters. Now, if you flip the phone around, you'll see that we have a pretty large 50 megapixel main camera that sits on an extra element, but despite of that, the cameras don't really stick out that much. You also get your Xiaomi logo on the bottom, and once again, this phone is a little bit too big for the use in just one hand, especially with a crooked thumb like I have. Now looking at the side of the Xiaomi 13 Lite, you see that the display curves around the edges, which gives it a very stylish look. The same also goes for the back side of it, and as for last, I want to point out the selfie camera. Even though you have two right next to each other, they really don't bother me when I'm watching any videos. I mean, the 6.55 inch AMOLED display has a 120Hz display, which means your videos look very smooth, and navigating on this phone feels great too. Now, if you want to save a little bit of your battery life, you can head over into your settings, look for display, and if you scroll down, you will find your refresh rate. And right here, you can trim that down to either 60 Hz, but you can also put it in a default mode, which is nice balance between 60 and 120 Hz. So through the HD plus resolution, which means 1080 by 2400 pixel, all your videos, they will look great. Pictures are pretty sharp. The OLED display provides us with a contrasty picture, and there is a good balance between whites and blacks. The colors are poppy, and overall it's a very solid smartphone if you want to watch any movies on it, either on YouTube, Netflix, or maybe Twitch. Now when it comes to the audio, this one has a very clear sound, but therefore it doesn't get that loud. The Xiaomi 13 Lite comes with a single speaker on the bottom side, but there is no 3.5mm headphone jack. I mean, you do get Dolby Atmos with a few presets, so you can tweak your sound a little bit, but just let me give you a quick example. A 90Hz display and a 5000 mAh battery that lasts up to 2 days. And today I will give you a full tour of this phone, so let's not waste any more time and let's get started. Alright, as I already mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Xiaomi 13 Lite comes with a 4500 mAh battery with 67 watts fast charging. In my test, it charged the phone from 0 to about 80% in about 30 minutes. Now, even though the battery is a little bit bigger than the last year versions, I only get about a day and a half out of it. That always depends on your usage, of course, and I would say that I use this phone quite a lot. So one bad thing that I just have to point out when it comes to the Xiaomi 13 Lite is that even though we have MiUI 14, but this one is based on Android 12, while the other flagships run on Android 13. I did have some hopes that this will change in a few weeks after we get some updates, but now almost 2 months later, it's still on Android 12. Now, MiUI haven't changed a lot when you compare it to the previous version, but it does have a better performance. One of the new features that you will find on MiUI 14 are large folders. So if you long press on any folder, you can change between a regular size or the enlarged version of it. This will not change the amount of apps that are in a folder. Everything just looks a little bit bigger. Now you get a fingerprint sensor as well as a face detection, and I have to say that both work fairly well. There was never a time it didn't get my face. Now the Xiaomi 13 Lite comes in two different variations. Now there is a 128 and a 256 gigs storage version, and both are not expandable through a micro SD. Also, if we head over into the storage settings, you see that my 128 gigs version already loses about 13 gigs just because of the system. So better think twice on how much storage you actually need. So the Xiaomi 13 Lite only rocks the Qualcomm Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 instead of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. that we will find in the Xiaomi 13 and the Xiaomi 13 Pro, and you definitely feel the difference in the performance. While I was playing my car racing games on high resolution settings, I could definitely feel lags at the start of the game, in between races, and especially when a lot happens at once on the screen. And that is with the gaming booster enabled. By the way, this one allows you to tweak your game a little bit to get a better performance out of it. You can record and take screenshots during your games. There's actually a sidebar too, so you can have a floating window during your games as well. You can turn on the D&D mode and many other things. Now the chipset does a way better job on my day-to-day use. Swiping around, opening up apps and scrolling through the news tab feels a lot better. It may take a while until it buffers the news, but after that, everything works just fine. Now finally over to the camera. Now the Xiaomi 13 rocks a 50 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro camera on the back. Now on the front, we will find a 32 megapixel ultra wide and an 8 megapixel depth camera, and I like every single one of them. If you want to record some videos, you can either do this with 4K in 30 frames or 1080p in 60 frames on the back, and the selfie camera can capture videos in 1080p. So here are some clips on how they compare. Alright guys, so that will be the test of the selfie camera. Now, like I already told you, this one can only record in 1080p with 30 frames per second. There's no 4K, no 60 frames, so it's a small bummer, but I think it still looks very good. Now also, if you're looking for a lot of camera modes, the Xiaomi 13 Lite is just perfect. You will find a portrait mode, night mode, and if you click on more, there are some video modes specifically for vlogging and short format videos. You can add some movie effects, there is a dual video mode, slow-mo, and a lot more. And of course you will find a pro mode as well on this phone. Now guys, there we have it. That's the Xiaomi 13 Lite. Now I've also covered the Xiaomi 13 in another video. If you want to check this one out, just click that video right here. And I guess with that one being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace!